What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Austin Asylum and Ramblings of a Madman. As always, I am your warden, Doc Austin. And today what we're talking about is wrestling as a whole. I know I talk a lot about wrestling itself, and because that's what I love. I love wrestling. And I've been watching it since I was a little kid and probably will never stop. But I've noticed some changes in the way wrestling is, which leads us to my big question today. What happened to kayfabe? And that's kind of what I want to dig into. Kayfabe, whatever you want to call it, is, for those of you who do not know what that is, it's basically the behind the scenes of wrestling. Like the kayfabe for The Undertaker is that he's The Undertaker, but in real life, if he were to break that kayfabe, he'd go by Calloway. That's a general idea of what that is. You'll have to forgive the video quality. I am driving home from work to get another, probably 2 or 3 hours worth of recording. So you'll have to bear with me on that. But, like I was saying, with kayfabe, back in the day, wrestling was what it was on screen or in person was what they were like when you met them. Every once in a while you get a wrestler that would break kayfabe for you, if it was in a controlled setting. But, like, for instance, I had a friend of mine that I met who was a photographer who used to do a lot of PR stuff. And he actually had a meet and greet that he was shooting that was with a lot of the old wrestlers back in the 80s. One of which being Randy Savage. And he said, literally, that in the conversation before the meet and greet started, when they were just kind of setting up, that he was talking to him just like I'm talking to you guys now. But then as soon as those doors opened, that neck pursed out, and he was talking like the Macho Man. And that was kayfabe because the fans wanted to see Macho Man. They didn't want to see Randy Hoffman. And that's how things were back then. But the difference is nowadays, in this day and age of literally, social media, things, hell, their storylines will get leaked, or at least WWE storylines will get leaked on the internet before they've even started them on TV. And that's insane. The speed at which information travels now is crazy. So how do they keep up with kayfabe in this day and age? Well, they've been doing it without any one of us even knowing. And I'll expand on that a little further. Again, these are short little snippets of video. I'm not exactly, wanting to do 20, 30 minutes worth of me just sitting here talking. But we may do multiple series on this. I don't know. But what I will say is that I've noticed over time, especially here recently, it's become increasingly harder to tell what's the difference between a shoot promo and a scripted one, or a shoot match and a real one. It seems more and more, take example, farthest back example I can come up with right off the top of my head would be the big controversy over Lesnar beating Taker at Mania. A lot of people weren't sure, was that supposed to happen that way? Did Brock Lesnar just go crazy and decide he didn't want to lose? There were so many theories on what happened. And at the end of the day, nobody truly knows. The only people that do are Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, and Vince McMahon. Those are the only 3 people that actually know for sure what happened. Fast forward, a more recent example would be at WWE Super Showdown. The last time ever, or whatever they called it this time, Triple H versus The Undertaker. I was legitimately concerned for The Undertaker through most of that match because it looked like he was washed up. You know, it looked like he was, it looked bad. You know, it made you start, it gave you this feeling of this uneasiness of there was something wrong with him. You know, and they were just trying to keep up. You also had this feeling of animosity, and that's the whole thing. You watch it play out on TV. You watch it play out through the promos, through Shawn coming back, through the countless number of times Undertaker's threatened that the only reason that they're coming back and they shouldn't, you know, literally every single thing that they have done has felt like a shoot. It hasn't felt like it was scripted. It hasn't felt like it's, you know, predetermined. It legitimately feels like Triple H and Shawn Michaels have problems with the Undertaker and Kane. That's legitimately what it feels like. And that's crazy, because if you think about it, at face value, we would all assume that it's predetermined, because that's what wrestling is. It's fake. Sorry to anybody, you know, spoiler alert, it's fake. You know, that wrestling itself, very real. Do not get me wrong with that. I have several parts of my body that are very messed up from either trying to learn how to wrestle, practicing, or just generally screwing up. So that's, you know, that is a thing. And it is very dangerous, and 9 times out of 10 takes a lot more athleticism than any other sport ever. Okay, I gotta get off my soapbox. Sorry about that. Anyway, I get a little triggered when it gets to the topic of wrestling and fake. But, so over the years, especially a guy like me, you know, who's been watching for, God, 13 years now? 14 years now, you know, you get to that point where you can watch the match and know what's going to happen. Like, yep, they're setting up for this, and that's going to be the finish, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, now we're at this weird place where, honestly, I don't know anymore. You know, like, for instance, for all intents and purposes, I would have said at Super Showdown, Triple H versus The Undertaker, for all intents and purposes, I would have said that Triple H was going to win, which he did. But then at the same time, that would have been it. You know, they would have done their big celebration, whatever, all walked off together just like they did at WrestleMania, just like they did, you know, their big show of respect after WrestleMania 27. The three of Shawn, Undertaker, and Triple H walking out together during WrestleMania 28. You know, like, legitimately, it looked like the same regurgitated thing that it always has been. And then they swerved every last one of us and led into this new rivalry between the Brothers of Destruction and D-Generation X. Now, I'm not going to talk for too much longer on this because there's so much more I'd like to talk about and so much more that I want to dig into that I cannot do in one video. I can't. So I'm going to keep, you know, I'm going to post updates about this because I do want to keep talking about it. And this is why I call this Ramblings of a Madman, because it's literally me rambling. You know, ideas, things that have popped in my head, things I want to do. So, you know, if this entertains you, please hit the like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know some things that you might want me to change, or some different things that you might want me to do or talk about, even other than wrestling. Because you get me talking about wrestling, I can talk for hours. So I have to really reel myself in. But you know, I want to expand more on kayfabe and why it is that things are different now. This is kind of just a little tasty morsel of things that I really want to dig deeper and research more and see what I can drum up. You know, the differences, say 5 years ago, 10 years, you know, with kayfabe, it's the world behind, you know, that the world gets to see. And then if you break kayfabe, you're breaking that fourth wall. And it's kind of interesting to see how they have basically changed with the times, you know, in a day and age where their information, their storylines, their rivalries are, you know, getting put on the internet long before they ever actually do it. They had to adapt. And I think the way that they've begun to adapt is genius. And I think they've been doing it for a lot longer than anybody realized. But with all that being said, you know, I know I've already said like, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Hit the share button. Tell your friends. You know, tell people that you think would enjoy this stuff, or even has, you know, more insight than myself. Put that in as well. Share it with them. Let them know about it. But beyond all of that, the only thing that's truly important is that you, and yes, you, and you over there, and you watching this video right now, stay crazy, internet. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourselves as much as I enjoyed making this video for you. If you'd like to see what I've most recently put up, please click that box on your top left. If you'd like to see what YouTube's recommended for you, click that box on the top right. Other than that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, but always and forever, never forget, stay crazy, internet.